Good morning, everybody. My name is Aaron. With us is, as always, Luke. It
Hello, hello.
is it is September 20th on a Sunday. It is 9:16 in the morning here, Eastern Standard Time. What is it over there, Luke?
616.
Awesome, awesome. And we want to welcome you guys to the Old Noodle Podcast.
There it goes.
All right. Now that we got the formalities out of the way, we're going to have a relatively short episode again today, just because, lives have been super busy. We've got a lot of Taken King content and stories we'd like to share with you because during our free time, that is what we've been doing as per usual.
Yep.
So, what we want to get started with today, though, is there's some things in our lives that, surprisingly enough, you and I don't talk about. And so one of the things is, and I can't really place a direct time of when this started happening,
Okay.
but I'm just going to give it the time frame of, like a couple months ago. Honestly, it was longer than that. Doesn't matter. A while back, I started getting random phone calls to my cell phone number. And it was always looking for this mysterious woman by the name of Theresa Draper.
Okay.
And so what it is it's constant phone calls from banks, car dealerships, and most recently, it was either Wednesday or Thursday of this week. I'm doing some walking, getting a little bit of exercise in. Phone rings. It's a Kentucky number. I'm like, okay. So I pick it up, and it's this nice woman, American, from what I can tell. And she's very,
Bubbly?
yeah. Like she's very high spirits, very like and she's like, da 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 da, like, thank you, Mr. Draper, and I'm like, and she goes, she's like, congratulations, you've or no, how did she say this? Because she said something like, hello, da da da, Mr. Draper, I'm looking for a Theresa Draper. And I go, well, ma'am, I'm like, I'm very sorry to say I'm not Mr. Draper. I go, and honestly, there are many people who apparently think that this is Theresa Draper's number. And she goes, oh, well, that's very odd. You must have not had this phone number for very long. I go, ma'am, I've had this number for over 10 years. She goes, oh. And I'm like, yeah. I go, this was actually a previous family member's phone number that I then took control of.
Who was also not Theresa Draper?
I'm like, no one outside of this family has this number. Has ever had this number, unless it was from like
Decades ago.
or early 90s or something, like, seriously. And she goes, oh, okay, well, I'm very sorry to hear that for Theresa Draper, but I guess you're in luck because she gave us this telephone number for a contest. And 'cause she said at the beginning of the phone call that she was from GE or whatever.
So like the appliance company.
Yeah.
General
like
Electric.
Yep. The appliance company. She goes, you have won a full blown. Well, she didn't say full blown, but she was like, it was pretty much, it's a full blown home automated security system.
No way.
Yeah, and I'm cracking up. And I'm just like, ma'am, I'm sorry, I don't live at a house. I live in an apartment. Which she then proceeds to piss me off because she goes, oh yeah, well, unfortunately, the home automated security system is for homeowners. And I'm like,
Better people.
I
than
just
you.
told you that. Well, yeah. Well, I just wanted to be. I didn't say it, but I just wanted to be like, okay, well, just flippin' told you that I live in an apartment building. I'm not an idiot. Like,
Right.
And so then she goes, well, if you can just give us the information to like a close relative or anyone that would love to take you up on this offer. I go, no, ma'am. I'm like, I'm not giving you out information. I'm not, dude. What if it's a scam? And then you would hate me. Then you
True.
would hate me because I would have
True.
to. I couldn't ask you, and
Yeah.
I've already been chewed out by many people in my life for just hawking their phone number and name
Right.
out, and and then I get beef back like, why did you give out my number? Now they won't stop calling me. Again, knowing that I have been dealing with these phone calls for months now.
Right, and then I would get them.
I don't want to put that on anybody.
All right.
I don't want to put that on anybody.
Fair argument.
Yeah, and two, I'm pretty sure they were probably wanting to get this installation done, whereas you've probably got like what, a couple more months or so left on getting your house.
Yeah.
So
true.
anyway,
and it probably wasn't. There's probably some catch. All you gotta do is sign up for a 10-year contract after your
right. And so I'm like, ma'am, I'm not giving you out personal information. She goes, oh, sir, I assure you, like, this is, you've won like this, da da da, and she like names the contest, and I go, well, I'm like, unfortunate for this Theresa Draper or whatever. I go, but I'm not, obviously I can't take it. I go, quite honestly, where I didn't sign up for the
contest.
The contest, I'm like, I don't know if this is legit.
Mm-hmm.
And she goes, oh, sir, my name is da-da-da, and I go, that's fine, ma'am. I go, and I'm not trying to be difficult. I'm just trying to tell you that I'm not interested. I don't want it. Nobody else in my immediate family wants it.
Call the runner-up.
Yeah, because I'm not. Yeah, so I did. I go, is there any way that I can possibly just took this on through to the runner-up? And it was weird because she seemed very like frustrated to do it, because she was just like, I mean, yeah, there are like things in place to hand it off to the runner-up. I'm like, great, just do that. And see, that's why
because listen, lady, I didn't even win.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
really, you're taking this away from everyone else that actually tried to win this.
Right. Well, and that's the thing. It all just smelled so fishy.
Yeah, it did.
That's what I'm like. And again, like I said, like I have gotten numerous phone calls from different places. One was a bank, which is never good.
Right.
Two is a car dealership, which is never good.
Mm-hmm.
It's like this stuff adds up. Like, I don't know if this was some sort of weird form of entrapment. Like, they're trying to find her, and they're trying to like get her to come out of the woodwork.
Right.
It's funny because I never used to think about things like this, but it's like over the course of this time of getting all of these different, loan offices have called for this person. Right. And I'm like, and again, they have to think that I'm just like calling bullshit.
I know. I hate when they call and it's like a collector or whatever.
Yeah.
And they ask for somebody and you're just like, I don't know who that is. Yeah. Okay.
Right. Well, either that, but they just keep calling. Yeah. Right. Mm-hmm. And it's like one time they're gonna trip her up and she's gonna pick up the phone and say, Theresa Draper here, and it's like, no, this is the one time where you're wrong.
Next time you see a number that you think might be calling for that, just have Angie be like, hi, this is Theresa.
Oh my god, no, because then we'd have like freaking police busting down our door. They like triangulated my cell signal or something.
Wow.
I don't know, but point is that it's I'm really trying to be nice about this whole thing, but it's like I've gotten to the point now where I'm just so bitter to these people.
Yeah, I had the same experience when I switched over from when I first got a new phone out here.
Yeah.
I had somebody calling for like an Allen something, and I was very, very polite in the beginning, so I know how it is. You're just like, oh yeah, he must not. I just got this phone number, blah 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 blah. And then it was like this Macy's, dude. It was Macy's that made me angry. Once a week they would call, hey Alan, just calling to tell you we got your cologne in.
Oh my god!
And I would literally answer every time, be like, "Listen,
buddy,
I don't know who Alan is. I don't want your cologne. Stop calling every week Saturday. Hey, we got your cologne.
Looks like you're in luck, sir. Since Alan gave us this phone number, you're eligible for free cologne." Yeah, no, it's annoying, and and it's one of those things where like I'm just about getting ready to get to the point where if I get another call, I really just want to be like, has it ever occurred to you people that she gave you she purposely gave you a different number so that she could run out on whatever it is she's getting away from right now? Like, do you not realize that? Like, I mean, now what I've been doing is, because thank God for like versions of cell phones these days, you can block numbers right directly from your cell phone.
Yep.
So as soon as I get off the phone, or if I see one that like obviously I know is not for me, I just immediately like I decline the call and then I block it.
Yeah.
So I mean, it has since I've been doing that, the phone calls have like slowed down a bit. Like that's
Sure.
the first one that I had gotten in probably over a month, which is good. But like I said, dude, I was getting some when it first started. I was getting them like once every two or 3 weeks.
And it's weird that it just started now. So she must have really put down your number. Like she decided, like
Yeah,
whoever
like
this person is just
yeah,
like
whatever
this
she did,
number.
she probably stole somebody's identity. She put I was the lucky recipient of her putting down a random phone number.
Yeah.
And she just went out on the town. She took out a bank loan. She got a freaking car.
Yeah.
And she did something with GE apparent. Like I don't know. I don't know. Her life is a flippin' mystery to me, other than the fact that she ripped a lot of people off apparently.
Right. Maybe it's the same person that stole Kelly's identity because she's going through. Somebody stole her credit card information.
Oh my god.
Maybe it's Theresa Draper.
Yeah, yeah. Well, yeah. So, well, and the thing is like I was like, is this some sort of weird? Because I almost thought like, what if this is also just a? I mean, it would be a huge coincidence, but like, what if this is some sort of weird telemarketing scheme as well? Like where they say like, oh, I'm looking for so and so, and that person says, well, they're not here, and then then they have their foot in the door, and then they're like, oh, okay, well, since she gave us this number, you da 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 da, and then there's their pitch.
Right.
Because now you've gotten more on like a human element of like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Hey, while I have you here,
Yeah,
though,
we're actually offering
like,
these great discounts on blah blah
so I
blah.
looked that up. I did like phone call Theresa Draper, nothing. So I mean,
Really?
this is like, yeah, like this is full blown. Like somebody, I'm the one in a bajillion
Phone numbers.
chance. Yeah, So
Well, at least you found you can at least decline and start blocking.
oh yeah,
But it is annoying. I completely.
it is. I
understand.
mean, even because all it's doing is just it is just slowing them down. It's not it's not getting rid of the problem.
Oh yeah, they'll just switch the number.
Yeah. They've got if it's a big company or something like that, they've got a bajillion different phone
Oh
numbers.
yeah, especially if it's a call center, dude. When I
Yeah.
worked in the call center environment, if we didn't get a call from our usual number, it means we were they probably blocked us from collection attempts.
Yeah.
We just had to switch, and then we'd call them again.
Mm-hmm.
They'd pick up.
Yep. So yeah. So I don't know. I thought that one was pretty funny though because the last time that I won a quote unquote contest was I remember it was when I was a
beauty pageant.
yeah, it's when I was like I don't know. I mean, I was probably past toddler age at this point, but I was still like really, really young child. And going back to our NASCAR conversation.
Oh God.
So this was back when I was too young to understand, and there was like some sort of drawing or something at a food city where we lived, and you got like this pretty like nice large decal of a stock car or whatever.
Okay.
And so I remember like it was one of those things where we literally like we walked in and they were like blah 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 we're doing a raffle for this car here, and we were like, oh well, we're not staying, and he goes, oh well, you guys just came in at the right time, we're doing it in a few minutes, if you guys are shopping for some groceries or something, you're bound to hear it before you leave. And we were like, well, okay, and if not, just hand it off to the next person. So
Right, exactly.
wrote my name down, and we were leaving. Like we had our groceries, we paid for our groceries, we were carting the buggy out the sliding doors, and they were just like, blah blah blah, you've won, and we're just like, what the hell? Like, and that was the only time that I like legitimately won like a contest. Every other time has been like a fluke or something like that. So
Right. Yeah, I get those calls all the time. Hey, you've won a all expense paid trip to the Bahamas.
dude, I shut the front door, because I actually just got one of those the other day too.
Really?
Yeah,
And then listen to the whole
cell
thing.
phone.
Listen to the whole thing, because
Yeah.
at the end it's like, all you have to do is purchase a timeshare and blah 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 blah
Yeah.
blah blah.
Yeah.
And it's like I don't know, $2,000, $3,000, and that's like a yearly. Yeah, it's
Right.
it's insane.
Right. Well, and that's the thing. It's like mine probably would have ended that way, but it was great because, I mean, one of the few times that I'm going to talk about work. But basically, it's very quiet where I work most of the time. So, but it came on my cell phone, and you know, and we can kind of, you know, it's not as long as it's not like a recurring thing. Like we can answer our cell phones.
Right.
So, you know, it rings, stupid BS number. I'm like, okay, like let's see what this one is. And the thing was, is where it was automated, it was super loud.
Okay.
So I answered it, and it was like, "Hello, we wanted to congratulate you on your trip to the Bahamas." And like as soon as it said trip to the Bahamas, I go boop, and I just go nope. And the guy like catty corner from me or whatever just looks at me and just starts laughing.
I'll take it.
Because everyone could hear it. I mean,
Yeah.
it was so loud, and like I wasn't on speaker. It was just where it was a pre-recorded message. It was
Yeah, the
so
volume's
loud.
so high. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but it was funny because I just hit it, and I just go nope, and put my phone down, and I just go right back to work. Like, but yeah, so it's actually kind of insane, like the amount of BS phone calls I've been getting here recently.
It's like you just said. I heard you like you barely said it, but it's all on your cell phone
Mm-hmm.
because nobody uses landline anymore. I feel like all telemarketers have gone over to cell
Oh yeah,
phones.
well that's the thing. That's the unfortunate thing is your cell phone companies they sell you out.
Oh yeah.
That's exactly
They
what
sell
happens.
your information
These
yeah.
call centers come up to them and they're like, "Hey, we're going to give you X and X amount of money.
Yeah,
Give
for
us
your phone
give us
list.
give us your database." And they're
That's
you know, and
sad.
Verizon apparently now is just like, "Okay." And so now all of us are on flipping call lists now. So, but anyway, so that's the Theresa Draper mystery. So anybody listening, if you've been called looking for a Theresa Draper, you're in trouble. Because you'll be just where I'm at. But anyway, moving on from the boring humdrum lives that we live, we'll kind of get into some gaming stuff now. Imagine that. So going back a little bit, for those of you who've listened to previous episodes and things like that, I've actually been part of a lot of the preview programs that Microsoft does, whether it be on the Xbox console or the PC, whatever. I kind of do it all. So I'm still on the one. I don't do the one for the PC anymore because you know
Too unstable.
that's previous podcasts ago. So those of you who haven't listened, go listen. But yeah, so I got away from the PC, like you know, desktop builds and stuff like that for the preview program because it was just too much. So I'm still on the one for the Xbox One, and even it is like I'm just like, God, like why did I do this? Like it hinders me just wanting to get on and play a game sometimes, and it's not worth it, you know. So anyway, I get up for work one morning and I look and I see that I've got a message from Xbox Live on, you know, because I have Smart Glass, so it goes to my phone, and I read it and it's like, hey, I know this is kind of our theme today. It's like, hey, congratulations, like you're one of the few for the first wave to test and review, something officially written. It's like the new Xbox One experience.
The whole Windows 10 integration thing.
Mm-hmm. And so I was like, again, I was just like, I was thinking nope, but I was like, let me see, let me investigate this one this time. So
Well, this one would actually be interesting because it's such a drastic change.
Right. But I get on the computer, or actually I get on my Xbox actually, because it was like, you know, go to the preview dashboard app to see more information. So I get up and like while I'm eating breakfast, I hop on here and I take a look at it, and it's like, oh well, you know, it's not available right now, but go ahead, click a couple buttons, and then you'll be like in our first or second wave depending. And I was like, okay, and so. Right at the end of that, it said like disclaimer, read below, and if this doesn't, they're like, if you do not agree to what is below, do not sign up for it. So I'm like, okay, perfect. So I start scrolling down through it, and one of the things that was, well, all of it was screaming big fat nope, because I just don't want to go through any of it. But I scroll down to the section where it says games and apps not loading.
Oh.
And among one of the games, it was Destiny, the Taken King. And I'm like, nope, because I'm like, and this was like the day after it had come out.
Okay.
So I'm like, no, I'm wanting to play this game. Like, this is the only game that I play.
Right.
like on my Xbox One, like yeah, I'll throw in some PGA Tour, or I'll throw in some
GTA every once in a while.
GTA. Yeah, yeah, GTA every once in a while. I'm like, but no, Destiny is like my 99.95 repeating game, time spent on this Xbox One.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, no, absolutely not. But interestingly enough, and for those of you who have an Xbox One and are connected to the internet, which if you're not, I'm sorry, but how are you even listening to this right now? But it's one of those things where it's got a video. And it's like an 8 long, and I didn't watch the whole thing. I started watching the beginning of it long enough to notice that, and I'm not a fan.
Really?
It is for those who are on Windows 10 or have seen it long enough to know its layout, it's the Xbox app. It's the exact flippin' layout of the Xbox app.
Damn, dude. I was actually excited for this.
Yeah, yeah, it looks crappy. I mean,
So it looks like a downgrade.
yeah, yeah, it's super. Actually, what it is, because the thing that first came to my mind, even when I loaded up the Xbox app on a Windows device, other than the Xbox One, obviously, was it's the reverse PlayStation dashboard, because they have the horizontal
Right. But it's the
carousel.
icons.
This one is vertical carousel for the Xbox app.
Okay.
And that's what it is. It's the exact layout of the Xbox app for other Windows devices. It's just going to be on your Xbox now.
That doesn't sound great at all.
Yeah, it's super now. I'm sure you'll probably be able to change the color of your background and things like that. I don't see how you're going to be. And again, I'm not a big fan of this, but I sure do see a lot of people online and things like that use the achievement backgrounds.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how they're going to do that, or if that's going to just be completely gone now.
Gotcha.
Because with the way that and you know what I'm talking about.
I do.
The way that it's laid out, it's going to be hard as hell to differentiate or pick anything out if you try to put a picture as your
Behind
background.
it, sure.
You have to do solid colors, or solid colors with minimal design to it. Because of the
Now,
way.
do you think this is gonna be, because that's scheduled for stable release in November, right?
Yeah, yeah, everything is hitting in November. That's backwards compatibility. That's the new Xbox One experience. Now, again, I probably need to do a little bit more research because, like I said, I just started the video.
Right.
And I didn't finish it. But I can tell you that when I watched it, because it was because anytime you see those videos, it's like Major Nelson's doing it.
Oh, yeah.
And so it was him, and then I guess it was like the lead designer for like the Xbox Live team, or for Xbox, whatever. The point is that Major Nelson said, now, da-da-da-da, like directing to the guy that was on the video with him. He goes, now, what are we looking at here? And he goes, this is the new Xbox One experience. And I was like,
yeah, see, that's shitty. Like, well,
yeah.
Okay, so, like most of the time, I'm always on both sides of it. I really don't care how it's gonna look, because yeah, I'm not like you. I don't use any of my apps on the Xbox. I use my Xbox to play games. That's it. And what I've read about it is that games are going to load much faster, because they took whatever this whole integration is they're using. The friends and the achievements aren't going to be all cloud based. It's going to be storage based as well, so you can get it right away. So there's going to be like, because they did a side by side. I just saw the data. I didn't actually see the video of the side by side, but it was like the longest wait time to load up the friends list was like 8 seconds on the original, and it was like 0.5. Literally, they clicked and the friends list was up.
See, that's amazing.
Like the Xbox 360 used to be. It was immediate push of a button, you created a party. That's what they're bringing back. So maybe they had to go to the minimal design to get this to work. Which if it handles
that's
better,
fine. I mean,
then I'm fine with it.
Yeah, I would take functionality over
aesthetics.
Yeah. So I mean, if this does mean significant performance improvement, sure.
Right.
And I know a lot of people may actually be happy about this. Maybe they're ready to get away from the tile system. It's just that I'm okay with seeing changes. I mean, it keeps things fresh. I just am not a fan of where
Yeah,
this
the
is
I mean the
going.
Xbox app is shitty, and I don't want to talk too much about this, but um, the other day after we had gotten done playing some Destiny, I wanted to continue to play some Crucible, but I
Hmm.
also wanted to do it in the living room so I could just hang out with Kelly for a while. I don't know what's
Must be
happening to this
nice.
game, yeah, to this game stream app. The lag is getting worse and worse.
And you have it on
Um,
low.
I had it on medium.
Dude, I'm telling you, you got to do it on low.
I
Because low is
know.
not bad. Low, I swear, low. The only thing you lose is audio.
Okay, well that's not that big of a
I
deal.
don't think you lose video. At least from what we could tell. Like I couldn't tell any difference in the video from going from medium to low, other than it cleared up the latency issue.
Oh, so you didn't have so because it's not noticeable unless you're playing like PvP because then
Right.
like
Well, and that was always what my worry was trying to play like online multiplayer games.
right. Okay, well I'll try that on
Try
low.
low because I mean at least when I used it, it took the audio I imagine from stereo to mono.
Mm,
So
that's all right.
yeah, so I mean yeah, you're gonna get some like pretty just hollowed out basic ass sound quality, but if that means you can also play it in another room,
Yeah.
I mean that's a small price to pay.
Well, I'll try
And
it. I'll try it
most of the time
again.
now, people are listening to music.
Yeah,
I
that's
mean,
what we usually do anyway. Or
yeah,
well, the whole point of me to go out there was to sit and talk with her, so I was talking to her
right,
while playing.
right.
So it
So
wasn't that big of a deal.
yeah, so you're not going to be sitting here critiquing the quality of the sound, like
Right.
'cause
Well,
you're not immersed already because you're talking with her.
right.
But yeah, like I said, I would give that a shot because low or whatever the lowest quality setting was for that streaming app, it's really not that bad. It's
Okay.
definitely playable for because you said now did you wire all the way to the the thing you were streaming? Okay,
I
yeah.
did.
So
I
see,
used to, but the
yeah,
ferrets were tearing at the cord and stuff. So
right. Yeah, so see, I mean, even then, like with you doing wireless, like low is basically your only option.
right. Well, I mean, I do have the 5.4 gigahertz card in there, and I can get my 100 download through that.
Yeah, but I mean,
But it's latency.
we're just
It's
talking about like the app in itself too.
right.
Like we're
Right.
not I'm not saying that your equipment can't handle it. I'm saying that the Xbox app can't handle
Sure.
it.
Yeah, I'll try low, and
Um,
then next time we get back on, I'll have an update for
Yeah,
you.
yeah. Like I said, I just because when we went to go play the Jackbox games or
Hmm.
whatever, I remember I fired it up, and I guess the app because I had it on low when I tried GTA that first time. I'm like, wow, this is great. Like, I mean, yeah, it's on low, but other than the audio, like the videos, I mean, obviously manageable and worth for streaming.
Hmm.
And I guess the app had kicked it back up to medium because that's when it was. It's like I could not get through a screen without it taking like 20 seconds to get through that screen, that one animation for Jackbox. And I was like, this is insane. And then
Right.
I figured out, I'm like, oh, wait, it pushed me back up to medium for some reason. As soon as
Every
I popped
time you
it,
start it.
yeah, as soon as I popped it down to low, worked like a
All
charm.
right, I'll have to try that, and then
Yeah,
have an update for you.
yeah. So anyway, I guess I need to see more on the new Xbox One experience or whatever. But as of right now, if it is going to be a clear cut of the Xbox app that's on Windows devices, I'm not happy. I mean, I'll
Yeah.
use it because obviously, what am I going
Right.
to do? What am I going to do? Like stop playing Xbox? Like I can't do that. But
Yeah.
you know, I don't know. But like I said, if it does lead to massive performance and improvement, then sure.
Yes.
I mean, obviously, like either way, I'll learn to live with it. But damn it, it better increase.
Yeah, if it's gonna decrease something, if you're gonna get a really crappy looking platform, then it better perform well.
Mm-hmm.
Because like, just for an example, whenever we're playing together, I never, ever, ever invite you to the friends list. I go
Yeah.
through Destiny, friends, roster, invite you, because
Yeah.
it literally will take me 2 minutes as opposed to 15 seconds on Destiny. So if
Mhm.
they can make that where you click that guide button and it's just like the 360 and you can just go through everything is super super fast, I'll be fine. I don't care if it looks like the Nintendo, like it doesn't even have a platform. I
Yeah.
really don't care as long as
Yeah.
it functions well.
Right.
So
But yeah. I mean, so there's that. So We're gonna actually flip flop. So one of the games that I've been wanting to play recently, but just couldn't, I guess, because one, I didn't really want to shell the money out for it because actually I've been spending a lot of money recently on video games. So this is one that I kind of had to sort of decline on, but is alternatively really good to watch.
Okay.
It's this game called Until Dawn. It's only for PlayStation though, so it's a PlayStation exclusive. But I had been looking forward to this game since it kind of got announced like sometime earlier on in the year, I think, or late last year, I think. I'm not really sure, but anyway, it is basically a horror game that you get to. It's a choose your own adventure horror game. So if you've ever played like any of the Telltale games or seen any type of game that's built around that, so basically you have these. Definitely like it's a cabin in the woods sort of story.
Okay.
Like literally, like there is a cabin in the woods that these teenagers go to. So it's very stereotypical, but it's got some twists. It's got some really cool twists. And the thing is like you're kind of the overarching goal of the game is to see how many of the teenagers you can get to survive
Okay.
through the night until dawn.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but the story is really interesting. Like, there's a lot of stuff that they just kind of throw out there, and and you're kind of left like saying like, what the hell did that mean? But overall, like, I mean, it kind of does a pretty good job of tying everything up at the end and stuff like that. But definitely one of those games where if you can find a good Let's Play recording, and
Check it out.
and you've got nothing else to do with your time, or just an avid fan of watching games. I definitely recommend going through and watching that. I mean, the one that I watched was one of Rooster Teeth's sort of subsections, which is the Let's Play channel. So it's got all those guys there, and they take a more comedic approach because it's got like
Well, it's
obviously
Teeth.
huh.
It's Rooster Teeth, sure.
Yeah, exactly. I thought you said what's Rooster Teeth, and I was about to punch you. But anyway, yeah. So it's got one of them playing, and then it's got like at any time it's got maybe 3 or 4 of them just kind of sitting, sort of doing the backseat gaming,
Sure.
you know. But it's really funny because they're just giving each other shit and trying to just make their way through the game and stuff like that. So it's really enjoyable. But there are other ones out there. Like sometimes like I really enjoy the full sort of cinematic approach that games can deliver.
So
And
you
so
like it where
sometimes,
there's no commentary or no nothing?
yeah, no commentary, just strictly like them going through the game. And it's like, actually, that's especially when I play single player games, like that's my approach. Like if I ever try to stream and stuff like that, like I've been doing, I haven't in a while, which I need to get back on it, is Metal Gear Solid, Phantom Pain. That was kind of what I wanted to do with it as well, because me personally, I can't stand going into a channel, trying to sit down and watch a single player game and just have some wank off like running his mouth
Yeah.
about dumb crap, and it's like, well, that didn't even have anything to do with the game, and you're making these annoying sounds and annoying voices, and I can't enjoy the game. It's like I might as well just go ahead and shell out the $60 and play it myself.
Right.
And again, it's one of those things like you're coming there to watch them. They can act however they want, but that's just that's not the experience that I want to have. And then find somebody else. But there are plenty of people out there, which I greatly respect and love that they are out there. Is that they'll just sit through and they will not talk. They will just give you the game, and that's it. And actually, one guy. And I can't remember. His name's like Rage a Lot or something on YouTube. He's actually been showing up on the gaming section here recently.
Okay.
One of his things is that he plays like suspense and horror titles. But what he'll do is he won't necessarily speed run them. I know that he's done on a couple of them, like some of the Silent Hill games. Like he's actually like said like I am speed running this. Other times he's just done a general playthrough. He plays them beginning to end in one sitting.
Okay. Oh, nice.
So yeah. So that one's really cool, and it's awesome because when you go to his page, it's got one of those things. It's got like a disclaimer basically that says, don't try to talk to me.
Mm-hmm.
In the chat, he's like, you guys can talk amongst yourselves or whatever, obviously. He's like, but do not try to reach out to me for questions or anything like that. He goes, if you do, I will try to answer them at the end. He's like, but during the game, I will not talk.
Because
He's like,
he wants that experience for the people watching.
mm-hmm.
That's cool.
Yeah, he's like, I'm sitting down. I'm going to play this. I'm not going to talk. He goes, I will talk at the end. And he did. Like, one of the first ones that I watched him finish was Silent Hill. I guess it was Homecoming.
Okay.
And yeah, and he did not open his mouth one time during gameplay. But as soon as the credits hit, he was like, all right, guys, I want to thank everybody for watching. If you guys have any questions or any comments or anything, now's the time. And, like, it's, like, literally, like, he just opened up the room for, like, questions and comments.
That's cool.
Yeah, so I really like how he handles that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and it's really hard to find people like that because everybody else out there thinks that they've got to, like, really like, the only way that they know to sort of brand themselves and make themselves unique is to be really, like, out there and obnoxious and...
Yeah.
And it's just like it's such a turnoff for me. Now I know there's a lot of other people out there that are just like, oh yeah, I love when people are wacky and silly and stupid. That's just not my person. I mean, it's not my personality, and it's not like it's not the stuff that I want to surround myself with.
Sure.
But, you know, maybe I'm just somebody that takes game viewing a little bit too seriously. But anyway, Until Dawn, one of those really good, like, you don't have to play, but fun to watch.
Sure. Yeah, I'll
like
have to check that out.
Yeah, like other titles are like Uncharted. The Order 1886 was a really good. Now I actually played through that one, and that's another thing too. And I can get off on a whole other rant with games that are movies because I know a lot of people are really 50-50 on those types of games. I'm pro.
Yeah, me too.
I'm pro for those types of games because it's a different experience.
Yeah, I don't see why you wouldn't want that in a single player game.
Yeah.
Why would you not want a little bit of time just to watch what you just did?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Or, I mean, or just see like more. It's like why would you not want to get a story out of this?
Yeah, it's element building.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I mean, it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, you can have first-person shooter single-player games where you just mindlessly go in. It's like, hey, you start at point A, go to point B. I'm down for that. But I also want to see a game where it's like really telling you a story. But a lot of people just want that mindless, you know, numbing. Here's a enemy, go shoot, bang it, or whatever. You know, which is fine. I mean, it's cool, but don't knock
what other people like.
Yeah, don't knock movie games. Like, there's nothing wrong with movie games. You know, it's people can get their money worth out of movie games or whatever. But anyway. So Until Dawn, I recommend checking it out. It's a fun one. I suggest. Of course, I said that, and you know, after saying like I want a real cinematic experience, but I love Rooster Teeth too much to like not watch them.
Yeah.
So if you don't mind a lot of commentary, like they kind of bullshit back and forth between themselves sometimes, but generally like they are talking about the game. Like they're not just saying like, oh hey, so Tuesday I did this. Like they don't do any of that. They are talking about the game. They're making fun of the game. So it's very funny, or they're trying to figure something out. But if you are looking for a more like I just want to watch the game with its audio and nothing else, I've already seen postings of just, you know, it'll say like no commentary.
Gotcha.
There are plenty of those postings out there for people who do want to watch that. But anyway, Until Dawn, great fun. Check it out. Anyway, so I guess we'll go ahead and round this bad boy up with our experience this past week with The Taken King. Yeah, so it finally came out.
And it's awesome.
Yeah. It was exactly what I hoped for. I mean, did it feel like it obviously met your expectations?
Definitely. Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah. So, one of the things is that something that really didn't change, but it would be kind of hard to change. And it's one of those things where you can't appeal to all the masses doing it one way or the other. But one of the things that kind of stayed consistent with the past expansions is that, you know, you can go through the main story in a matter of hours.
Yes.
Which is fine. It's fine. It really is. During that time, though, we came across a slew of new weapons new armor.
Mm-hmm.
The route that they took for the new subclasses for these characters is amazing.
Yeah.
That they went, and the thing is that, you know, a lot of people were saying like, oh well, there's not really a story to this one. They put a story to this one.
There's
Like there's still the Grimoire cards that you have to go to the, either
Bungie
the
or
app
whatever.
or Bungie to view, but they definitely went the more cinematic story route this time,
Mm-hmm.
which I think a lot of people that are PvE oriented were wanting from year one.
Right.
So, so yeah, I mean that was great. The cutscenes were amazing.
Awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I mean everything about this so far. I love all the new features. Like as far as getting rank, I love that you can get rank and weapon orders from the gunsmith now.
Mm-hmm.
It's really cool. The one thing that is kind of surprising is the theme of the or
The
not of the
armor.
weapons, but of the theme of the armor, which is like very Native American. There's a lot of
Right.
feathers and a lot of eagle-based
Mm-hmm.
um, helmets.
Which is
and,
weird because the weapons are very like futuristic, very clean cut looking
right,
weapons.
right. So I don't know if it's some sort of like weird literature, like oh, like the past meets the you know, or like the
Right.
future or something like that. Which I mean, again, like you know, I don't know what Native American past would have to do with it, but it's interesting too because you look at some of the weapon names and they're very Asian. Uh, like there's a lot of like Asian words and things like that. And it was
Mm-hmm.
funny because during one of the, I feel like during one of the preview reveals that Bungie did on their streams, that actually got mentioned. Some of the naming conventions of these weapons that we'll find throughout this year two is that like a lot of the people within the company are of Asian ethnicity, and
Gotcha.
so yeah, so there's like a lot of weapons. Their titles are very Asian oriented or whatever.
Sure.
So, but I mean, it's cool. They've got wicked names. I really love like you said, they're futuristic, but they're also very clean.
Yeah, very clean.
Um, they're very clean and a lot of bright colors this time.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of bright colors. Like one of the shaders that I have on right now is literally just it's either white in some parts, and then it's just this really loud blue.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm seeing some neon colors
Yep.
in other places. Like there's other like purples. Purples are that very sort of bright, almost emit like you're almost borderline pink and stuff. Which I mean, hey, pink armor, that's cool.
Heck
Whatever.
yeah, I do it.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, but it's very loud colors now, which is it's interesting. It's interesting to see. As far as the leveling, um, I do find it interesting how they're doing leveling this time around. They're getting away from they disconnected.
And to me it makes a lot more sense.
Yeah, yeah. I appreciate it. Some of now again because where we haven't been able to try it yet or anything, going through some of the raids and things like that will be a little bit interesting because you know now you're gonna have to look at like a recommended light level,
Right.
which again is not that hard to do. Obviously, like you just look at your character sheet, like okay, well I'm two. You don't have to look at your sheet. You just look at your banner,
Name, yeah,
like
your banner,
emblem.
sure.
Yeah,
Hmm.
and but you know now it's not something where you're like oh you're a 32, you're good. You could
Right.
you could be a 32, and for some reason, if you'd want to do this to yourself, you could put on all the shitty gear
Right, and be light
and,
level 100.
and be 150.
Mm-hmm.
You get your butt stomped.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it is one of those things where you have to be a little bit more conscientious of the armor and weapons that you like sort of hang around and stuff like that. One thing that I was a bit bummed out about was that you cannot infuse year one weapons.
I know.
Because I know you and I had talked about after we watched the like
Reveal.
the first reveal that they did, which was just dubbed year two for them, so it was showing off like new features and talking about new features. And one of the things that they talked about was infusing, and you and I discussed this on our one of our previous podcasts, and it was like, but they didn't. Unless I missed it, I didn't catch it.
They didn't say anything about the year one stuff.
Yeah. So they were like, you have a favorite weapon? Boom, infuse it. And I was like, yes, this is perfect. I've got a scout rifle that I got from the Queen that I really enjoyed, and I want to level it up and keep it relevant. Can't do it.
Yep. Yeah,
Can't
it's
do
irrelevant
it.
now.
Yeah, it's got to be. Well, it's as of right now, it's still kind of hanging in there with what I've got.
Because you're not super high yet.
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
like
Well,
at one.
at least for my Titan. For my Titan,
Oh, okay.
it's still relevant.
Sure.
For my Warlock, which is my primary, not so much.
Right.
Because I've been infusing the Vanguard, or one of the Vanguard weapons that you can get at the end of the main storyline.
Apple of Discord.
Apple of Discord, yeah, Apple of Discord, which is the pulse rifle. I've been infusing that because it's pretty awesome. So I mean, it's one of those things where it's like, I guess I'm kind of glad I didn't get hung up on a year one weapon, and in turn would be missing out on all of the year two weapons. But
yeah, I mean, I have a whole vault full of weapons that are basically useless now.
Yeah, and it's like I don't want to get rid of them because they're unique, and now they're I mean, at this point, they're nostalgic.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like they increase the vault space. It's still not enough.
No, it's not.
Like now, it's not like they just created a new problem now.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, okay, well, we've got this vault space. I don't want to get rid of anything.
Yep.
And so with that, now you've just created a new problem.
Mm-hmm.
But it'll just have to be one of those days where I've got that.
The spring cleaning.
That NFG, which stands for no given. I'm gonna have to go in with that NFG mentality and just wipe it out.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna forewarn you. Don't expect to get a whole lot of stuff. You get
no, and I'm not.
telemetries.
And it's purely the fact that I just want to clean house.
Yeah, I think
So,
I went through and got rid of my duplicates, but I think now I'm just gonna go in.
Just
Just
do
trash them all. Yeah, I mean.
yeah. I definitely did dupes. I think I accidentally deleted all of one rocket launcher, but no, not a rocket launcher. Excuse me, a machine gun. But it was like Wolf's Bane, which like I didn't really care for it when I got it. So it was one of those things where I got it like for the fourth time in a row, and I was like, "Are you kidding me? Like, stop giving me this weapon."
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
I mean, but all in all, I've been reading a lot of people that have been hating on it with like the whole story thing, and like you said, we did it in one day. We beat the whole story, and we got to level 40 in one day. But there's so much more to do. There's so many quests after the main storyline that still involves the Taken King that I don't think we're even close.
Right.
I think we still have a lot more to go.
Right. Yeah. People are really just hindering themselves from playing more of the game because they expect like the clear and cut storyline was all that there is, and it's not. I mean, yeah, it's a lot of a roundabout, like basically like one of the missions is just like, oh, we'll go play five strikes. Are you not going to go play 5 strikes if there weren't that quest there? Like,
exactly.
Yeah. So I mean, it gives you more of a quest to want to do it, and you don't have to do it. But the thing is that stuff is there. So why would you sit here and complain like, oh, well, once you get finished with the storyline, it's over. There's nothing to do anymore. It's regular old Destiny. Well, yeah, I mean,
well, it is regular Destiny, but there's also new missions too.
But isn't that the game?
Yeah, but I'm saying there's also new missions that even unlock, like even like little waypoints on your. I don't think even a lot of people have seen that yet because they gave up right when they saw the credits roll.
Yeah, because they quit and they were like, well, forget it. But I mean, the same thing is that even if you sit here and complain like, oh, well, that's it, that's the end of Destiny, it's like, there's still there's all this Taken King content. There's the Dreadnought. You and I spent, at least 3 hours in that new area.
Yeah.
And just doing the weird little, like, getting a key here.
Things, yeah.
And so you have to go and you have to put this key in here, and then it has you go do a quest, and then there's a timed event, and then you have to go back, and then you get a chest at the end. We did that twice because you and I each both had a key.
Right.
And that burned 3 hours, and that was 3 hours of fun.
Right.
But
yeah,
but like you said, people saw the credits roll, and they're just like, oh well, that's it. Now I wasted $40 for 3 hours of gameplay. God, thanks, Bungie. And it's like, no, that's not it.
Destiny has never
there.
been the A to B, like we were just talking about. It's never been the A to B game. It's a grind.
People can make it an A to B, but I mean, but you're right. It's more of an A to B grind.
Yeah.
But I mean, but that's what I'm saying though. But they've put more flair on that aspect now, because, like you said, there's even quests with new missions sort of hidden inside the bevy of quests. Like I said, there are quests that are complete 5 strikes. The next one after that was complete 3 heroic strikes. But now there's a new raid, which apparently one team finally beat it in 7 hours.
Okay.
Yeah, but give it like not even 2 weeks, and somebody's going to solo it in an hour.
Sure.
Because someone's going to find the way to cheese the hell out of it. But I mean, hasn't that become Destiny? It's just like, let's figure out a way to cheese this. Like,
exactly. But it's stuff like that I like. That's why I like Destiny, because then Bungie gets butthurt and they come out and they patch it, and then they try to cheese it again, and they try different ways. So in all the community is finding a way to prolong Destiny. Yeah. You just have to go out there and make it the way that, or you have to make it play the way that you want to play it. Right.
Or if you can't, then go find a different game.
Yeah, if you want one where it's going to take you, at least a few sittings to go through the storyline,
go play World of Warcraft. That'll take you forever.
Yeah, exactly. There's an array of games that you can go get. There's free games that you can download on Steam that are going to give you more of a story.
Yeah.
If that's what you want, go do it. But I think The Taken King is awesome. I thought it was a great expansion. I think, even though they don't call it an expansion, it's year 2. But
it's actually like a whole new game. And but that's cool though, because their whole new game was $40.
Exactly.
And the thing is, and look at that. It wasn't Destiny 2. I didn't have to somehow either re-roll a character or anything like that. Everything transferred it. Because you remember all of that. Like, Destiny hadn't even been out for 3 months. And there was already that rumor like, oh, they're creating Destiny 2. And everybody was like, well, I hope I don't have to flip and roll a new
and they
character.
got so pissed. They said that they were going to do this for 10 years, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, and it's like, well, they gave us that. And it's awesome. So...
And I'm just gonna say this, and they launched well.
Yeah, well, they were super smart about it.
Yes.
They did that week early patch, where pretty much all of the UI and the features for year 2 were there. Literally what had happened, the game was there. You downloaded Taken King.
Just the content wasn't.
The content was turned off.
Yeah.
Yeah. So all they had to do on the 15th.
Hey, so everybody that, if any developers ever listen to this podcast, follow their footsteps, because everybody else's launch sucks.
Yeah. No, it kicked off super flippin' smooth.
Yep.
I mean, now we played it in the evening, granted, but also for other people that didn't stay home all day, like they also got on around that time. So it's not like we got on at some low.
No, I looked online all day at work. Everybody was fine, because I was reading launch issues. None, zero. The only thing was the Suros thing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there were some hiccups. Like I think the biggest hiccup that was experienced was that some people that purchased the content, it wasn't activating correctly. Because some people bought it, and like I know that some people actually took screenshots of like, which is funny because the only one that I actually saw screenshots of was on PlayStation. It showed him, checking out. It showed his cart. It said, "Thank you for purchasing the," and then he went, and then it showed a screenshot of the like where you go to click on your first Taken King mission, and it was like requires Destiny to Taken King to play.
Gotcha.
But since then, I believe they've rectified that.
Right. I mean, it didn't take them long. It hasn't even been a week. It's been 5 days.
Yeah.
And it's pretty smooth.
Yeah. So I mean, I feel bad for those folks who didn't wasn't able to hop in like right on day 1 or anything. But I mean, hopefully by now it's fixed for them, and they're enjoying the ride now. So.
Which, I mean, we're ready to wrap up, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you guys do want to see, if you don't play Destiny, but you might maybe like watching it. Maybe you're one of those people that like to watch games being played. We have the whole run through on my YouTube channel. It's Twiggy Gaming. I'll leave a link in the description on this episode only because I don't like to always market myself. But yeah, we do have the whole run through straight in, so you can see all the main story. If you want to see
the main story, not all that Destiny has to offer.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, go check that out. It's a good bit of fun.
Yeah.
So.
And also, if you've, I don't think anybody's joined us today on chat, but we are no longer on Twitch. The last episode that we did was actually the last one that we are ever going to do on Twitch again. Not that Twitch is a bad service or anything. It's not. I love them.
We're just switching over.
This is episode 10, so we've had the past 9 episodes on there.
Yeah, I was actually on Twitch yesterday viewing some streams, so it's not like Twitch is dead to me.
Yeah, I'm not bad mouthing
them.
Not bad mouthing them. Really, it's just for me to have more free time because YouTube allows me to instantly archive it, and it just makes it so much easier on me. So I'll go ahead and do the wrap up. Check us out. We're gonna try to get back. We missed last week, but we're gonna get back into the weekly thing.
Yeah, we're lazy.
Yeah. So make sure to subscribe on this channel so you can always check us out when we're going live. We're going to try to do it every Saturday morning. I know it's Sunday right now, but we had some stuff to do. But every Saturday morning, usually around 7 o'clock Mountain. So that's what, 10?
Yep.
10 your time?
Yep, 10 Eastern Standard.
Usually around there. Follow us on Twitter, @TheOldNoodle. I will always try and update that once we actually get a follower base on there too. So. As always,
the community has to make it happen, though.
Yeah,
come on,
exactly.
Guys. But yeah. So like always, just like, subscribe, do all that BS, and we will catch you next week. Bye bye.
Take care.